BC First Nations leaders are in Ottawa today voicing their strong opposition to the proposed Site C dam. We are joined now by Chief Rolland Willson of the West Moberly First Nation. Chief Willson, thanks for joining us here on BC One.
Thank you, Sonia.
So tell us why you are opposed to the Site C dam.
Well, we're opposed for a number of reasons. The Site C is a stupid idea. It's an archaic idea. It's a 30-year-old idea that was squashed by the BCUC, British Columbia Utilities Commission, 30 years ago because there was no need for it. It's back on the table again, and we find that we're still in the same situation. There is no need for it. They commissioned a joint panel review of this, an independent review, and the JRP came back and stated that BC Hydro has clearly not demonstrated a need for this power at this time. It doesn't make economic sense, it doesn't make environmental sense, and it definitely doesn't make any legal sense. The Peace River is in the heart of our territory. It's the Peace River Valley where the Site C is being planned. It's the last chunk of valley that we have. It's vital to our culture. It's habitat area for wildlife. There's numerous endangered species in there, red listed, blue listed species in there. It's the only Class 1, Class 2 agricultural lands in all of northern BC. There's enough agricultural land down there in the valley to feed over 1 million people. And BC and BC Hydro are planning to put it underwater. Part of the process is we've talked about alternatives with them, and the JRP came down very hard on them for not looking at geothermal. The BCUC process 30 years ago told BC Hydro to go back and take a look at geothermal. They never spent a cent looking at it. So there's alternatives out there, and what we're saying is no to the impacts of this project, but not no to the development of the energy. There's other ways that we can meet the energy demand that BC thinks it needs.
And Chief Willson, I understand the West Moberly First Nation has title to the Peace River Valley, which is obviously critical to this project. So if the federal government decides that it wants to go ahead with this project, how do you move forward? I mean, can we expect to see blockades to prevent development?
Well, we'll take legal action for sure, immediately. And it's not just West Moberly, it's treaty land. So all the Treaty 8 First Nations in BC have title to this property, this land. So it affects all of us. And the amount of development that's happening in the northeast area, it's the breadbasket for BC, and they're just taking everything. It's the only place in Canada right now that shale gas is happening. There's huge coal developments in the area, wind farm developments, and it's all happening at once. So just in the aspect of cumulative impacts, BC doesn't have a clue what kind of cumulative impact is out there. And they have an obligation to uphold and honor the treaty that's in place there. And this is a treaty that's been there for over 100 years. And we are no longer going to be brushed aside. They have a legal obligation to ensure that they have to maintain these treaty rights. The Silo-Cutin decision last month, earlier this month that came down, I believe, is kind of the nail in the coffin on this thing, we believe. We came to Ottawa to talk to any decision makers in government right now. They all refuse to meet with us, so I'm hoping common sense prevails here, and BC and Canada will do what's right and what's legally available to them.
All right, that is Chief Rolland Willson joining us today from Ottawa. Chief Willson, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Sonia. Take care.